Good evening and welcome to Duck TV News. I'm Camila Retta.
And I'm Spencer Herbis. Here are our top stories. To start off our show, the UO Board of Trustees has selected Michael Schill to be the 18th president at the University of Oregon. This change comes during an important time at the university, as issues concerning sexual assault, tuition, and labor discord continue to be addressed. He discussed some of these issues last week at the ceremony and is looking forward to working with the community. Schill is currently the dean at the University of Chicago Law School, but will begin his work here on July 1st.
Moving across the Willamette, lacrosse sticks, footballs, and over 200 Oregon children were found at the Moshovsky Center last week. They call it the Youth Movement, a day of field games and guest speakers chosen to inspire Native American youth through sports and a goal to encourage higher education. The event took place at U of O's Autzen Stadium complex for the first time since its beginning 3 years ago. All participants were chosen by their school to participate, with each picking up to 25 students. Nike World headquarters held the event the last 2 years, and the Warsaw Sports Business Club say they not only hope to inspire Native youth, but all the youth around our community. Many of the volunteers were U of O athletes and students. Guest speakers included Jason Yunker, the U of O Assistant Vice President, and Anthony Newman, an identified Native American and former NFL football player.
In other news, the National Safety Council has declared April to be Distracted Drivers Awareness Month. The NSC has issued a new hashtag, #CallsKill campaign, encouraging drivers to stay focused while behind the wheel. Oregon law enforcement has been cracking down on distracted drivers through an increase in traffic citations. Officer Barry Rager of the Eugene Police Department explains the intended effect of the campaign.
The main goal, obviously, is just to get people to comply with the law. I think most people comply with the law, but what we're targeting is the people that they won't do it unless they have a fear that there's going to be some sort of punishment.
More than 3,000 teens die each year in accidents involving texting and driving. The National Safety Council is hoping that the hashtag #CallsKill campaign will raise awareness and dramatically decrease this number.
After months of protesting, the popular ride service Uber is officially shut down in Eugene. Arabelle Adler has more.
On Sunday, April 5th, Uber, a highly used and highly controversial car service, closed its doors to the Eugene community despite its efforts to stay. After disagreements over commercial insurance, vehicle inspections, and background checks, Uber was fined and forced to stop operating in the Eugene area, leaving many students and Eugene residents without a way to get around. Uber's success in Eugene was due to its easy-to-use application and innovative way for students to drive to school, internships, parties, and the downtown.
Uber in Eugene had been operating for about 7 months, which gave it enough time to sort of become well-known, and it was starting to be, heavily utilized, and there was a lot of drivers, and it was becoming an even better, more recognized service. So they sort of shut it down at a really bad time.
I think it's just something that's innovative and new, and I think that's what the city's afraid of.
Uber's mass appeal in Eugene was not only from college students, but from drivers as well. Uber offered another source of income for many Eugene residents, and over 40 men and women were left without a job when the service shut down.
And some of the drivers heavily rely on Uber as full-time employment. So it was pretty devastating when with very little notice they were basically laid off from their jobs.
Since the closing of Uber in Eugene, students have partnered with former drivers to urge City Council to allow Uber to operate again. Their combined efforts have resulted in rallies and a strong social media presence among the community.
We held a rally near the City Council building near the courthouse, and we had signs and stuff. And I made a website, which is saveubereug.com.
Although Uber is currently unavailable in Eugene, drivers and students are hopeful that the car service will return. Even though Uber is no longer operating in Eugene, previous Uber drivers and students are taking a stand to bring Uber back. For Duck TV News, I'm Arabelle Adler. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Arabelle. If you would like more information on Uber possibly coming back to Eugene, visit their website.
Employees are frustrated in other areas of Eugene as well. The Service Employees International Union protested outside Oregon University System Office on April 15th due to disagreements with their contract. OUS has employees working in 7 of the Oregon University campuses. The University of Oregon Chief Bargaining Representative Kurt Wilcox addressed SEIU members outside Johnson Hall regarding key issues such as increased wages, employee benefits, and health care. SEIU members feel their contract proposal is the worst in the past 20 years and are threatening to turn it down if changes are not made. SEIU is working with other OUS representatives at several of their campuses in hopes to implement changes in their contracts before they expire in July. Other bargaining sessions will be announced on SEIU's website. We now take it to Megan Moran, who will give us an update on this weekend's weather.
Thanks, Spencer. Though we've had a very warm and welcoming spring here so far in the Pacific Northwest, I'm sorry to say it's time to break out those umbrellas again. This weekend, we are expecting rain all throughout with highs in the 60s and low in the 40s. Just perfect for week 5 coming up. And if you're planning a trip to Portland this weekend, we expect about the same weather as well. But just remember, folks, April showers do bring May flowers. That's it for weather. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Megan. Snacks Galore, the Cando Food Drive held a snack pack program for Food for Lane County over the weekend to help local kids eat healthier snacks when they're not at school. Food for Lane County partnered up with Umpqua Bank and helped 50 low-income quality families in the Springfield School District. The snack packs were extremely beneficial for students who qualified for free or reduced lunch. In all 5 Springfield elementary schools combined, nearly 300 students were fed who otherwise might not have seen another meal until Monday at school. If you would like to donate to the Weekend Snack Pack program, you can write a check for Food for Lane County or drop off canned food at participating locations.
Another good deed happening in the county. A 75-year-old cedar tree has taken on a new meaning of hope. Reporter Jesse Foster has the story.
Originally, the roots of this tree were tearing up the foundations of Options Counseling and Family Services Center. Today, it serves as a piece of art, providing healing and relaxation to all visitors. Almost a year after the tree's top was removed, Mormor property manager Kathy Mortier called upon the artistic talents of David Hilsland. Hilsland, owner of Oregon Chainsaw Sculptures, said he was honored by the request and enjoyed watching the effects his sculpture had on the community.
Yeah, I've noticed that when I'm there, I really get a good vibe off the community, and for me it was really special to be a part of the community, to be able to create something that's going to be there and that's going to outlast me, that it brings people such a feeling of happiness, joy, and wonder, and I get to be a part of that. To me, that's just a privilege and an honor.
The carving displays what Hilsland refers to as power animals, choosing creatures that represent people's hopes, dreams, and desires. The over 75-year-old tree formerly stood at 150 feet, but became a danger to the counseling center and buildings around it.
There was grief around losing that cedar tree. For both we had impact on our clients who mentioned it, and also our staff. So they're coming in, and they used to have this big, beautiful representation and piece of nature, and they came in, and instead they had what felt like a scar. And so having converted that into a monument, really, of hopefulness and nature and so on, has been a really positive change.
Hilsland hopes that this tree will serve not only as a piece of art, but also a source of comfort and shelter. For Duck TV News, I'm Jessie Foster.
Thanks, Jesse. The tree is located on 12th and Pearl Street and is open to the public.
If you thought the Ducks looked good on the football field, wait until you see their calendar. The offensive line for Oregon Ducks football team is making a 2015-2016 sexy calendar, and it's for a good cause. All proceeds will be going to the Boys and Girls Club. They will go on sale in the beginning of football season, so be sure to get them while they're hot. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Camila Retta.
And I'm Spencer Herbis. See you next week.